So yesterday was the last day of SuccessCon, and Greg went and did the 4-hour-long get her done customer journey
marathon session.
Build it out. And I wanted to ask Greg a bit about what he learned from that, because this is a thing he's talked about a bazillion times. And so I figured, and you always learn something new because there's all these new questions each time. And so, Greg, you've explained this thing 1,000 times before. This is 1001. What did you take away, or what do you perceive differently, or what customer journey questions did you answer?
Yeah.
You get the question.
So, I don't know that I've delivered, I mean, I definitely haven't done that content 1,000 times, but the concept of the customer journey is one that keeps showing up and I keep circling back to. Like, yeah, it appears, but I'm also deliberately focusing on it more and more. And that's the reason I selected it as the theme through which to teach, or through which we taught the campaign builder. Because I think the journey, I'm clearer than ever that the journey is the most important thing for my business, and I believe that is true for all businesses. All you have to do is nail your customer journey, and everything is part of their journey. And the sooner you understand that, the clearer you become, the clearer you can get as to what their journey actually looks like. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, naturally the next question is, what should it look like? And the difference between those two things is where you go to work. I think Infusionsoft is a tool, and when you think about it as a tool, it is most effective when it's applied towards a specific strategy, right? You use a tool to achieve an outcome. The outcome in this case is the customer journey. So if you think about it with the builder analogy, customer journey is the blueprint. Infusionsoft is the set of tools that you use to execute that blueprint. Because this concept isn't really all that novel. It's not like groundbreaking because it's already happening. And that's what people, I think, forget is like, it's not this foreign thing that you have to go and start doing. It's this existing thing that you just need to recognize and embrace or enhance, and automation, can only make it better.
So let's have some fun, and we're doing this live on this video. Greg does not know what I'm about to say. Let's take some piece of yesterday that was particularly awesome. What I'm thinking is you went through your 7 or your 8 stages of the customer journey, and then we actually built out in the room a few of them and talked about the rest and looked at a bunch of Greg's examples. What can we do where people can follow along and share some stuff? In the Facebook?
I got an idea.
You got an idea, okay.
So picture the moment that your customers purchase your product, or just if you have a bunch of products, pick one of your products. Mm-hmm. That individual moment exists within a journey. Something happened before it and something will happen after it. So the objective for this micro exercise is to figure out what is it on both sides of that. And so if you think of that purchase as like this milestone and you zoom way out, picture it over the course of a timeline. What happens after they buy? Well, maybe they get, there's a fulfillment process where you actually deliver on it. Maybe there's an upsell process that guides them towards the next thing. Maybe there's a survey. Maybe there's a series of things that guides them towards becoming a partner, an advocate for it. Or maybe it's none of those things, and maybe it should be, right? There could be gaps there, but if you look at these stages, I call them, after the sale, it's fulfill, wow, upsell, and partner. But those stages are just my words. They could look different for you. The reason I like looking at it as a journey is because it forces you to say, well, what is in this bucket and what should be in that bucket? And then on the other side of the purchase, something led into it. And usually that starts with like traffic or awareness, an opt-in of some sort where they gave you their information, the delivery of that opt-in, and then ideally they would jump right to purchase, but I like to include a nurture stage for people who just need a little more hand-holding. Mm-hmm. So the sum of those stages is from left to right, traffic, opt-in, delivery, nurture, sale, fulfill, wow, upsell, and partner, right? Those were the 8 or 9 stages. And you might not have something in each of them, but the clearer you get about this journey, it forces you to look at it as these as this cohesive experience and recognize, what, we don't have enough here, or this part we skipped entirely, right? And so as you begin to fill that in, the milestones are no longer these independent lily pads, they become an actual pathway that is easy for your customer to find their way down. So for this exercise, figure out what that purchase is and then fill in the stages around it. And in the comments below this video, tell us what those milestones are. And then your takeaway task would be to figure out what bridges the gap between those milestones, what paves that path.
So immediately before and immediately after, are you asking people to go through all your 9 stages?
So I would recommend, exploring all 9 of the stages.
And for one product, right?
For one product, for one journey. And your business is going to be filled with them. And what you'll find is, as you do this exercise over and over, the journeys may overlap, they may intertwine, and that's okay. Your journey won't be entirely linear, but there are journeys, there are these pathways, they exist already, so you map them, you optimize them, and then you enhance them over time.
So if this is your first time coming across Greg's customer journey motif, let's give an example using the IS Starter Kit with just real quick, here's what we're asking for in the comments below. Do that, like here's for each thing, IS Starter Kit, in brief, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so the IS Starter Kit is the purchase. I like to move outward in either direction from the purchase. So immediately afterward, they get course access. There's fulfillment. There's a couple bonus modules. That's the wow part. And then when they finish the course, either they mark it as completed, or if enough time goes by, I start promoting the next course, which would be the CB Trilogy. So that's where we guide them into an upsell. If they've already got that, I use logic to guide them towards another course that's appropriate, or the OG membership, or even, hey, you liked this course, why not become a partner? On the front end, before the starter kit, there's a free trial immediately before it. So that's probably the opt-in. The traffic to that comes from either one of my blog posts or from my nurture. I have an ongoing, perpetual nurture that guides them there, or from Facebook traffic, right? So once they opt in for the free trial, there's the delivery of that free trial. Hey, you've got a few of these modules, go watch them. There's a direct call to action for the actual course. And if they don't take that, there's some follow-up in there, which is the specific nurture for this journey, designed to say, these are the content pieces you got, these are the things that you're missing and why they're valuable, and here's the course if you want it.
So let's do this. We'll go put in the comment or in the description next to this video the 9 stages, so you can copy and paste that into the comments. And then for each one of those, just type out, maybe name the part at the top so we know what kind of project it is in general. And then just write, within one line, what are you doing there? And if it's blank, you can write a little shrug emoticon or a question mark. I should probably take care of that. So join along, join in the fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. This content is, this is why Infusionsoft is so powerful. And there's a lot of things you can do with Infusionsoft, but I like to say focus on what is necessary over what is possible. And nailing your customer journey is if you're only going to do one thing, that's what you should do.
I laugh because it hurts. Yes.
All right, thanks guys. We'll see you in the comments.